Okay, it's not allowing me. I think you need to share,
Yes,
present your screen first.
try now.
Yeah, it's working now.
Okay, so we are continuing with financial accounting global setting. Okay, so in that document, okay, so we are left with tolerance group. Okay, now what do you mean by tolerance group? So tolerance group is nothing but you can set some tolerable limit for any particular criteria. Okay, why these limits are important and how many types are there? Okay, these questions you might face in interviews. So we have three types of tolerance group we can maintain. Tolerance group for user or employee, tolerance group for GL account, and tolerance group for customer slash vendor. Okay, so these are the three types of tolerance groups we can maintain in SAP. Now why this is required? Okay, so first I'm going here. Okay, this is the path for your tolerance group for employee. Okay, GL account will be in GL account topic and customer vendor will be in AP and AR topic. But all the three we are going to create now itself. Okay, and in those topic I will just again take you through the creation what we have done. Okay, now OBA4, that is the T code we have. Now why this tolerance group for employee or user is necessary? So say for example, if you want to limit any employee for posting your revenues and expenses, debit credit postings, okay? So for that purpose, this tolerance group is important. So you can limit debit and credit posting for any of the employee with the help of this tolerance group. Now my tolerance group for GL account is required. Say for example, we have cash account, okay? And to avoid frauds, or if you want to limit on debit or credit postings in cash accounts by any accountant or employee, so you can use this limits. You can set their limit. Beyond that, if anybody try to process anything, any amount, if it is exceeds the limit, then system will throw an error. Okay, so that is not allowed. You have to be within limit. Okay, so how much tolerable limit is there? That limit we can set through this tolerance groups. Then we have tolerance group for customer vendors. Now if we have invoices from customers, vendors, okay, so if there is any payment difference in those invoices payments, okay, so how much that difference will be tolerable? That limit you can set for customer vendor. Okay, so we are going to see everything in detail. Now these tolerance groups are created by basis consultant. Okay, we don't have authority to create tolerance group because they have all the access to create authorities and authorization and IDs and everything. Okay, so basis consultant generally create tolerance group. What we are going to do here? So we are just going to assign that to our company code. Okay, so if you enter here in OBA4, what you have to do is, okay, click here on new entry. Okay, so this group field, that we have to keep blank because this will be created by basis consultant. Okay, we don't have authority to create it. What we have to do is we have to maintain it for our company code. Okay, so you have to assign your company code here. Yeah, and group, once created, you can then later on assign to the particular employee user ID or particular GL account or customer vendor account. So where to assign that also I'm going to show, but later on. Group field, keep it blank, otherwise you will receive error because we don't have authority to create. Now here we have upper limit for posting procedures. Upper limit means maximum. How much maximum postings you can do. For what? So amount per document. Okay, so it's a maximum amount. So we have to give some big amount over here. Okay, so some nines I am giving here. Amount per open item, account item. Now you are working as an end user, so you must be aware of what is open item. Still I am explaining. So open item means unpaid invoices if you have any. Those are your open item. Once you post payment entry, it will turn into a cleared item. Okay. So these are SAP terms we have. So here also we are going to give some nines. Okay, 1 9 less than the account amount per document. Okay. Then cash discount per line item. Now what do you mean by line item? So say for example, if I am posting any journal entry, rent account debit to bank account. So rent account debit is my one line item and to bank account is my second line item. Okay. So these are called line items in SAP. So how much cash discount is we can provide? Okay, this is a maximum limit. So whatever limit will be provided to you by your client, you can give. Now for time being, I'm just giving 10%. If it is allowed up to 25% by your client, you can assign here. So maximum 25% you can give cash discount up to for any line item. Okay. Okay, press enter. It will fetch commas and dots. Okay, so instead of comma, instead of dot, it will be comma. Okay, so this is not 10,000, it is 10%. Okay, because it is set in the background like that, so it is speaking like this. Okay, now you have to save this. Now permitted payment differences. Now how much is a tolerable limit? That limit you can set over here. Okay, this is a maximum amount limit that we have set, but how much is a permitted payment difference? Okay, any employee can post for revenue or expenses. That limit you can set over here. Now this limit will be provided to you by your client. Okay, in real-time systems, whenever you are going to work with real-time business, client will give you this limits. Okay, you just have to enter the amount or the percentage or the cash discount adjusted up to. Percentage will be on sales and purchase amount. Okay, now why this is required? Now say for example, there is some payment difference. Assume that my invoice is of 15,200 rupees. Okay, now permitted payment difference is say rupees 500. Okay, for revenue we are talking about. So customer has paid me only 15,000. Okay, so there is a payment difference of rupees 200. Okay, and allowed is 500 rupees. So if it is within the limit, 200 is within the limit. Okay. Now, if any accountant or end user is posting the entry, okay, he will find that there is a difference of 200 rupees. So should he accept it or not? So he can take his own decision based on this tolerance limit. Okay. Every time he don't have to rush to the higher authority for approval for such payment differences. Okay, because if you go for higher authority permission, you have to wait for his permission, then he will approve it and then you will process it. So this is a long process and it is time consuming. Okay, so some decision capacity you give to end user or accountant in your company, okay, so that he can take his own decision. If there is a payment difference of rupees 200 which is within the limit of 500, he will post and then later on he will chase for rupees 200 from the customer. Okay, now what if invoice is of 15,600 rupees, okay, and customer has paid you only 15,000, there is a difference of rupees 600. So this is not within the limit. Okay, so system will not allow you to process this because it is beyond the limit, beyond 500. So that time he will not accept that payment, okay, and he will chase directly for the complete payment or 15,600. Okay, so tolerable limit, how much is the tolerable limit? That limit you can set over here in amount, in percentage, and this is for cash discounts. Now say for example, maximum cash discount we can allow is 10%, but that particular customer is asking for say 12%. Okay, and if it is within the limit, how much cash discount you can adjust up to? So say 5% on plus 5% on this 10% you can adjust. Okay, up to 15%, that is tolerable. Now he is demanding 12% as he is a regular customer. Okay, and the sales amount is also quite high. So we can grant him. So these decisions can be taken on lower ground. Okay, every time you don't have to ask for approval from higher authority. Now if the limit, if he is demanding for say 18% discount, but it is not within the limit, then you have to ask for higher authority permission and then only we can do it. Okay, so for this we require this tolerance groups. Okay, group field you will keep blank. Okay, this will be created by base system. Once this is created by base system, this group you can assign over here. Okay, in OB57, that is the T code you have for assigning user or tolerance group for employee. So if I just go here, you have to search for that particular user ID. Now my user ID is in, okay, enter FI. So there is no group. If you assign anything, then I will get errors. Okay, so you don't have to assign anything over here. Once this group will be created by basis consultant, okay, you have to assign it to the particular user, and the limit, if your client has set any, that limit will get applicable for that particular user at the time of posting. All right. Okay, now next type of tolerance group is tolerance group for GL account. Okay, so we have T code, that is OBA 0. So this is a tolerance group for GL account. Click here on new entry. give your company code. Tolerance group field will be blank. And you have to give the name, that is tolerance group for SH20. Okay. Now save this. So for any GL account, if you want to limit some debit posting or credit posting in amount or in percentage, you can set some limit on that particular GL account. Okay, for example, I have given cash account. Okay, to avoid fraud, if you want to post, if you want to allow some limit. Okay, so on debit credit posting, you can set some limit, and these limits will be provided to you by client because it's his business. Okay, we are just doing configurations, so decisions will be his. You just have to apply it on the software. Okay, then okay, where to assign this tolerance group for GL account? So whenever we are going to create any GL account, okay, we have field over there. So once we reach that particular step, I will let you know where to assign this tolerance group for GL account. Okay. Third type is OBA3. That is the T code, tolerance group for customer slash vendor. Okay. Now click here on new entry. Assign your company code. Tolerance group field will be blank. You can give here the heading. Okay. And save this. We are not assigning any
Just,
limit.
just to confirm, this code OBA3 is for which thing? I
Tolerance,
just missed it.
tolerance group for customer and vendor.
Custom. Okay, okay.
Okay. All right. So we are not assigning any limits because we are practicing. Okay, we don't have client to give all these limits, and we don't want any limitations in our practice. Otherwise, we will keep facing errors and we will not understand anything. Okay. So whenever there is scenarios, situations like that in your business, then only you have to apply all these limits or criteria. Okay. Now I'm going to explain you this. So specification for clearing transactions. So if you are making payments, okay, clearing transaction means payment entries. So every invoice has the due date, right? If you want to give some grace days for your due date, okay. Now say due date was 31st March, but still you have not received any payment from customer. So you have decided to chase with the customer, but you are going to give 5 days extra so that he can pay you. Okay. Sometimes it happens here and there. So 5 days extra you can give. So those days limit you can store here over here. Now this is also, it will be a client's decision. Okay. How many days he should give to customer for making payments and everything. Okay. Arrears base date. Base date we generally have for calculating discounts. Okay. So extra days if you want to give to grant any discount, okay, or give any discount to customer, then those extra days you can add over here. So these are the limits you can set. Cash discount terms displayed. If you're giving some cash discount on some terms like 10 in, if customer pays you within 10 days, you will give him 10% discount. If he pays within 20 days, you will give 5% discount. Okay, so these terms you can display over here, which term is going on, first term, second term, or third. Okay, permitted payment differences. Now how much permitted payment difference could be? Now, whenever there will be a payment difference, okay, be it a vendor invoice or a customer invoice, if there is a payment difference, that means there is some gain or there is some loss. Okay, so that gain and loss, how much is tolerable, that limit you can set. Okay, in amounts you can save here, and in percentage will be on sales and purchase amount, so that can be stored. And this is for discount. Okay, so for particular customer vendor, if you want to uh, mm, I mean allocate some limit, okay, so how much that limit should be, that you can assign over here. Then this is for permitted payment differences for automatic write-off. Whenever there are payment difference, it might be a case that they will never pay that difference amount. Okay, you will never get that difference amount. So it will be turned into your bad debts. So if you want to automatically write off such bad debts, okay, then on revenues, on sales, you can save that amount, and for expenses, purchases, if you have any bad debts, you can write off automatically over here. Okay, in amount and in percentage, you can save some limit. Specifications for posting residual item from payment difference. What is residual item now? Residual item in SAP, it means that it is a partial payment, but there is some reason behind it. So this partial payment can be due to some goods are lost in the transit, lost by fire, or goods damaged in the transportation or anything. Okay. Any partial payment, if you are receiving with some reason, that is called residual item in SAP. Okay, so if there are some residual items, but now say for example there is we have sold goods worth rupees 1 lakh, okay, and 20,000 goods are lost in the transit, so we should receive 80,000. But amongst that 80,000 also they are paying partially, that is only 50,000 we have received. Okay, so in that case, if you want to allocate this limits, you can allow. Okay, in such cases, if you want to generate payment term from the invoice, okay, you have to take over here. What is payment term? So terms and conditions are there, right? Whenever you deal with such goods and services, you have some agreements between your client and your vendor or customer. So payment terms from invoice, if you want to attach, you can uh, include this tick. Okay. In such cases, if you want to grant only partial cash discount to customer, then you have to tick over here. Then that calculation of discount will be partial basis. Okay. For such situations, if you have maintained some different fixed payment term, fixed terms and conditions you have agreed with the vendor or customer, okay, that in if such case happens, if in such situations we will only grant you 5% discount. There is fixed payment term you have maintained in the agreement, so that payment term you can assign over here. Okay, Dunning key is for chasing the payment. So if you have received only 50,000 partial payment, remaining balance payment you can chase through this Dunning key. If you have special Dunning key for that. What do you mean by Dunning? Dunning is a procedure we have in SAP to chase your customer for your overdue payments. Okay. After invoice due date also, if you have not received any money from customer, you can chase through this Dunning procedure. We are going to see everything in detail in AP and AR topic. Okay, don't worry. Then we have tolerances for payment advices. So if there is any outstanding receivable from or outstanding payable, is due. Okay, then that how much is tolerable, that limit you can set in amount and in percentages over here. Okay, any doubts till here?
No.
All right. So this tolerance group for customer slash vendor. Okay, this we generally assign to your customer and vendor account. Okay, in customer and vendor master data. Where to assign, that we will see in AP and AR topic. Okay, so just we are just creating it for our company code and we are saving it. Okay,
Okay.
fine. Okay, here we have completed your financial accounting global setting for time being. Okay, we are going to come back here for a few more steps to learn. But for time being, we have completed this. Okay, so basic configurations which we required, okay, those we have completed from this particular topic. Now next topic is general accounting, general ledger accounting, GL account. Okay, so go to master data, GL accounts, preparations, and your first step is edit chart of account list. That means define chart of account. OB13, that is the T code we have. Ignore this A, is in between. OB13. Now, what do you mean by chart of account? This is an important question for interview. So, chart of account is nothing but your list of GL accounts you maintain with. Okay. One more question you will face, that GL accounts which you maintain in SAP, it will be on which level? So, you maintain it on chart of account level. Okay. How many types you have? How many types of chart of accounts you can maintain? This is one more question. So we have three types of chart of accounts. First is operating chart of account, which is currently in operations, is your operating chart of account. Second one is country specific chart of account. If you have maintained your list of GL accounts as per your country's law and regulations, then it will be country specific chart of account. Okay, and third one is group chart of account. That will be a consolidation of first two, that is operating plus country specific, then it will be a group chart of account. Okay, one more important thing about chart of account is at a time there should be only one chart of account, it should be active. Okay, you can't keep active two or one or more chart of account, but two or more, that is not possible. Just one chart of account you can keep active at a time. One more thing, one chart of account you can assign to many company codes, that is possible. So if we are having now SH20 and SH21, two T codes we have. So one chart of account I can create and I can assign same to both the companies. Okay. So one chart of account can be assigned to many company codes. All right. Now 99% only operating chart of account we use in real time. Okay. Other two we generally don't go for it. So we are going to create operating chart of account only. But I am going to tell you how to create a country specific and group. Okay, so country specific and group and operating, all the three chart of account you have to create from the same T code and same path. Just assignment is on the different places, so I will let you know that. Okay, now just enter over here, click on new entry, and I am giving code same as our company code, say SH20. Okay. So this is my chart of account for SH20. Okay. Language you can maintain here. That is English. Length of GL account number. Now, whenever we create GL accounts in SAP, we have to give some number to it. Okay, we have to allot some number to it. So, how many digits should be there for that particular GL account? Okay, that length of that GL account number we have to give. Maximum 10 is allowed, and generally we give 6 or 7. Okay, in thousands or in lakhs, we generally give. So, we are giving 6. So, number of digits will be there for that particular GL account number will be 6-digit number. Okay. Within 6 digit, it will be allowed. Okay. Integration, controlling integration. You have to always keep manual creation of cost elements. Okay. There is two way, automatic and manual. You will always select manual over here. What does this mean? We are going to learn in controlling. For time being, just you have to select manual creation of cost elements. Okay. This we are going to learn cost elements topic. We have separate topic for it. Okay, so we are going to learn that in detail. Consolidation. Now, say for example, you are maintaining two chart of accounts. Okay, as per your client's requirement. One is operating and one will be country specific. So they have list of two list of GL accounts. One is normal and one is as per country specific. Okay. So he cannot keep both the active at a time, right? So he have to maintain it as a group chart of account. Okay, so one of the chart of account he has to assign over here, and he have to do consolidation of both country specific plus operating. Okay, and that other chart of account code he have to assign, and he have to maintain it as a group chart of account then. Okay, so group chart of account, if your client wants to go with, you have to assign your one of the chart of account over here. Okay, it's a consolidation of operating and country specific. Okay, so if this is operating, and if you have maintained one more for country specific, so that code you have to assign over here. So it will be maintained as a group chart of account. Okay. If you want to change your chart of account, okay, you have created a new list of GL accounts and you want to maintain it active. First, old one you have to block from here. Okay, so you can block your chart of accounts if you don't want to use it, but at a time there should be only one active. Now save this. Okay, now we have assigned company code to chart of account. OB62, that is the T code we have. Position your company code. So operating chart of account you will always assign over here, and country specific chart of account you have to assign over here. So now if I assign this SH20 over here, it will be treated as country specific. Okay. If I assign it over here, it will be treated as operating chart of account. Okay. So just assignment is on different places. Other is fine. I am assigning to both the companies. That is also fine. Okay. Now if I have both the chart of accounts, you have to assign it operating over here, country specific over here, and group already you have to assign to at the time of creation. Okay. Group chart of account you can assign over there. Save this. The next step is define account group. OBD4, that is the T code we have. What do you mean by account group? Now we are going to have a big list of GL accounts. Okay, and you can bifurcate your GL accounts in this account group step. Okay, so generally we have four bifurcations that we have learned in accounts. Those are basic bifurcations, we can call it. That is your asset side, liability side, expense and income side. Okay. Now, these bifurcations can be different as per your client's requirement. Okay. If he wants to further bifurcate his asset side into fixed and current, then liabilities into fixed and current, then expenses if he want to bifurcate in primary cost, secondary cost, non-operative expenses. Okay, so like that these bifurcations can be different client to client. Generally we do four basic account groups. Okay, and these bifurcations we can show in directly into balance sheets. Okay, that is also possible. So both are commonly used methods. As whatever your client's demand is, you have to maintain the groups. Okay, we are going to maintain four basic. Okay, this is log data. Go to SM12. Sorry. Okay, there is some issue with the server. We'll wait for 2 minutes.
Okay. You give training on SAP HANA
Yeah.
S4 as well.
Yes.
So what is the difference between FICO and HANA?
Now they have come up with their own database called HANA. So there are
Okay.
changes into that.
Okay.
Yes.
Like they're saving it somewhere in the cloud, something like that, or
Yeah. I mean, now they are using now all in this SAP FICO. They are using previously they were using some other database like
Mhm.
Oracle DB2 like that. Now it is their own database they have come up with. So there are a lot of changes we have in this SAP FICO also.
Okay.
So that is the
Yeah, I was
advanced.
planning to complete. I was planning to complete SAP HANA as well, but later on after completing FICO.
Yes, yes. You should go for it because it will be an added advantage. And whenever now, if you try for any interview, they will definitely ask you for that because
And it
already existing their customers, they have already started migrating their business on S4 HANA.
HANA. Okay.
That is the advanced latest one. Okay, now it is started.
So without certification, tested and trained person get a chance in the market, or
Yes, yes,
what is
definitely.
the scope?
Certification is secondary thing actually. Your
Okay.
concepts, your knowledge, your experience comes first. Okay. So see, now I'm a certified FI consultant, and you're not. And if we both apply in the same company, okay, and if your concepts are really very good, okay, and mine is not, then they will definitely hire you, not me, just because I am certified. No, in fact, they
Okay,
will hire you and they will sponsor your certification as well. So
that's good.
that is the case we have in market. So certification is secondary. You should not, I mean, they will not judge on the basis of certification. But if you have, that
Okay,
is an advantage like that.
okay, yeah, that all that provides an advantage.
Right.
A weight on your CV.
But maximum goes with the same flow. In fact, myself also, I have took the training first online, and then I
Mhm.
joined some company. Okay, and then I got the chance to do certification. So if they're sponsoring, why to spend our own money?
That's right.
So,
Profit center.
yeah. Okay, where we are, yeah, we'll account preparations and define account group. And in India, certification is also quite costly. So we can't everyone can't afford it. That's the case.
It's 60,000, right? Something like that.
That is just the fee, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
It is, if you go with certified training institute, training plus
mhm.
exam, because that is the only way you have in India to do certification. So they charge you around 3.5 lakhs to 4 lakhs now.
Yes, I inquired an institute in Pune, and they were charging around 4 lakhs. It's a huge amount.
Everybody can't afford it, so that is why this is the
That's
best way you go with.
yes.
Even I have not done it from India because that is not possible, and my company was also not sponsoring me for it.
Okay.
My
So
husband was
you
in London that time, so I went
okay?
there for 1 month and then I completed and come back. That's why. So it cost
And
me
how
almost
much?
40,000. That is the just
40,000.
case.
Okay.
400 pounds. That's it. That was worth paying to that particular certification. Who will
Yeah,
give this
because
4 lakhs and
4
everything?
lakh is a huge amount.
Yes. It's because my tickets and everything will be sponsored by TCS as I was
Oh,
employee spouse. So it cost me just 40,000.
you worked in TCS.
No, my husband is with TCS.
Okay.
I
My
was
brother
working
used to
in a
work in
business
TCS.
solution that time.
Okay.
Yeah, you said something?
Yeah, yeah. My brother used to work in TCS.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's one of the best company, I think, in India.
He's also in SAP?
No, he was an end user
Okay,
like me.
all right,
So
fine. Okay, now in account group, you have to click on new entry and we are going to do basic uh, 4 groups. Okay, now this will be on chart of account level, your list of accounts. So it's
we
asking you,
we double click to open this page, right?
no, just I have clicked on that path, that is
Okay.
this clock and tick icon. Okay, you have
Mm-hmm.
to tick on this and it will get open. Then click on new entry.
New interest. Okay, got it.
Okay, now you have to give your chart of account code and account group. Now we have to give a short name. Okay, 4 digits are allowed. Asset, liability, expenses, and incomes. And the full name we have to give. And then we have from account to account. Now here you have to give number range. Okay. Okay, I'm just saving this because the system is going, it will not allow me now. Okay, fine. So from account to account, you have to give number ranges. Now these numbers, uh, generally we have big numbers in real time. Okay. Now this number we should give is within 6 digits, because number of digits we have entered is 6 at the time of creating chart of account. If you go for more than 6 digit, it will allow you to create, but that's not ethical. Okay. It will not throw any error message somehow, but that is not correct. If you have given digit 6 in the chart of account, within 6 digit you can enter any numbers. Okay. So generally we give like this. Okay. 1 lakh to 1999 and so on. Okay. Now such a big number we don't require for practice. Okay. So we can give small 1 to 99. Okay. Then say 100 to 199. Okay, I just try to save it. That is why it is appearing like this. Okay, so you can press enter and you can skip this. 200 and 299 and 300 to 399. Press enter, then it will allow you to save. Okay, so we have given the number ranges now. What does this means? That is, whenever I am going to create any asset side account, I have to pick one number from this range and then I will start creation of GL account. Okay. Whenever I'm going to pick I'm going to create any liability side account, I have to pick number from this range. Okay. Generally, we follow sequence while creating number ranges and GL accounts as well. Otherwise, you will keep searching for the numbers. Okay. So we have to pick manually numbers while creating GL accounts. Okay. So we are going to proceed with that as well today or tomorrow. Just save this.
Uh-huh.
Now, next step is define retain earning account. So before you start creating your list of GL, okay, before you create any GL account, you have to maintain your retained earning account. Now, what is retained earning? It's a debit balance or a credit balance of profit and loss account, which we transfer as a retained earning to liability side. That is our accounting concept behind this retained earning, right? So this is now software's requirement. Okay, it is SAP's requirement that you have to define retained earning account first, so that you will get the accurate amount, okay, exact amount of profit and loss balance, okay, to transfer it as a retained earning. Okay. Now this is a software. If you start creating GL accounts, if you start posting into it, how you will get the exact amount or to transfer? Because some employees will post, some employees will not. So this should not be the case. Okay. So to avoid all these things, they have defined retain earning. You have to define first, and then you can start with the creation of all GL accounts. Okay. OB53, that is the T code we have. Then we have chart of account. So this is on chart of account level. Okay, wherever you get such window pop-up. Okay, that means this particular configuration is on that particular level. Okay, so this is on chart of account level. If it asks for company code, then it will be company code level. Okay, that is how it is. Now, okay, now this is a predefined transaction in SAP. This is a transaction for balance carry forward. Okay, which we are going to link with our chart of account. That means it is on chart of account level. Now what we have to do is, here we have profit and loss statement. Okay, here you have to give X. X is a technical term we have for carry forwarding balance. Okay, so profit and loss statements balance will get carry forward to account. Which account? Retained earning account. So we have to assign here number for retained earning. Okay. Now we have not yet created any GL account, but we are going to create, and we are going to create GL account first, that is retained earning. Okay. Retained earning generally appears on liability side. So OBD4, I'm going back to the earlier T code. Okay, I just want to view, so I'm just proceeding with the yes. Display data is fine now. Okay, I'm not going to edit it. So for liabilities, we have given range that is 100 to 199. Okay. So I have to pick one number from this. So first number I am picking from this particular list, that is 100. Okay. Why? Because this is liability side. Okay. So that number I am going to assign over here. What does this means? So your profit and loss statements balance will get carry forward to retained earning account. Okay. And we have to create number 100 retained earning account. Okay. That is the next step. Okay. Try to save this. So it will give you a warning message that account 100 is not created in the chart of account. It's just reminding that you are not created, but it will not allow also to create it first and then you go for this. Okay, so you have to ignore this by pressing enter. Okay, and it will allow you to save. Okay, and now next step of configuration is creation of GL account. Okay, whenever you create any data, list of GL account, it is also called master data. Okay, master data of GL account. So whenever you create any data, we don't have path, because path is for only implementation configuration steps are covered. Okay, whenever you create any data, what we have is only transaction code, that is T codes. So we have T code for creation of GL account, that is FS00. S00. Okay. So this is the T code we have for creation of GL account. Okay, I'm just going to explain you all these things today. Now this is icon for find. If you want to find your created GL account, you can use this. This is for creation. If you want to create new GL account, you have to click on this icon. This is for display. This is for making changes into created GL account. This is for copy. If the group and setting is same, you can copy your settings from one GL account to another GL account. If you don't want to use your GL account further in future, okay, as per requirement of your client, then you can block your GL account from here. This is for set for deletion. You can't delete created GL account. You can set it for deletion. Okay, for any reason, if it is wrong created, or if new account instead of the old account you have started using for client, then you can set it for deletion and you can block the posting so that end user can't post into that. Okay. This is for change company code. Now somebody else company code is appearing over here, right? If you want to change it, you can use this change company code. This is for update. Generally it get refreshed automatically, but in case if doesn't, then you can update it. This is for print view. Okay. Now we have not created any GL account. Okay, so if I try here for changing this company code to our company code, it will not allow. It will give me a message that specify an existing value. Now this is called a navigation tree. Okay, whenever you create anything, then only it will appear in this navigation tree. Okay, so first we have to start creating GL account. So if I start here with creation, Okay, I'm going to create first GL account, that is 100 retained earning. Okay, so I'm giving here 100, and you have to give your company code SH20. Okay, so it will open up all the tabs here for editing. So you have to select your account group, whatever account groups you have created, they will appear over here. So it is a liability side account which will appear on balance sheet. So you have to give that. You can give here short name for your account, retain earning, and the long name. Okay. This is for consolidation data in chart of account. So group chart of account, if you are using your trading partner, if you have created any, you can assign it over here. Nothing is mandatory. Just go to control data. Okay, here one assignment is there for you. That is, now I'm going to explain you all these fields. Okay, but you have to read it. So how you will read? So you have to keep your cursor on these fields. One red box will appear. Click F1 and you have to go through all these details at least once. Okay, because you face interview questions from these particular things. Okay, so you have to go through that. Okay. Now account currency. It will get picked automatically, but it should be your local currency or a same as company code currency. Okay, which will give your account a flexibility to process in any currency. Okay, now our company code currency is Indian rupees, and if I change this to US dollar, USD, okay, so only in that particular US dollar currency only I can process all my invoices, journal entries, and payment entries and everything. But if it is a company code currency, that is same as Indian rupees, okay, so same as company code currency, it will give flexibility that you can post in any currency. Generally, it will be your company code currency. Only balance in local currency you will tick for all balance sheet side account. Okay, that is mandatory for balance sheet accounts. For profit and loss account, it is optional. Exchange rate difference key and valuation group. If you have, if your client has requested to maintain for foreign exchange currency, a separate exchange rate difference key, if maintained, you can assign it over here, and this is for valuation of foreign exchange currency. Okay, so we have separate topic foreign exchange currency. Okay, we are going to see that, but this is optional. Okay, if your client has asked you to assign, then only you will assign, otherwise nothing is mandatory. Tax category we are going to see in taxation. Okay, we have few tax categories over here. All tax type allowed or only input or output tax allowed. Okay, so taxation we are going to see in taxation topic. So if you are going to assign any tax category, you have to always give posting without tax also allowed, because if there are any tax free goods, then those should be posting should be allowed for those goods as well, right? So this we will cover later on. Reconciliation type for account type. This is very important for interview. This we generally do it for balance sheet side accounts. Okay, sundry debtors, sundry creditor, advances to vendor or from customers, assets, fixed assets. Okay, so you have to assign account type. Okay, now sundry debtor is there. Say for example, I'm creating sundry debtor account. Okay, so we generally don't debit or credit sundry debtor or creditor account. Okay, what entry we post? We post say customer account to sales and bank to customer account, right? So customer accounts will get debit and credit. And once your customer account are getting debit and credit. So that balance should get updated in balance sheet under the heading sundry debtors. Okay. So to link your customers with sundry debtor account, we have all these account types. Okay. As customer, vendor, assets, we have this. Okay. Whenever we give reconciliation account type, okay, you will never give only balance in local currency because your purchase or sale can be in different country, so it can be a different currency, right? So it is not allowed only. Now, so this we are going to see later on. So this is important. Alternative account number and account managed in external system. Now implementation is going on for this particular company, Shubham Motors, and currently Shubham Motors running their business on Tally or Oracle or any other software. So they must be using this GL accounts on that software. Okay. So if you have any alternate account number, you can save that for users reference, or account managed in external system you have to take. Okay. Inflation key, we generally don't assign anything. You just have to read it once. Tolerance group for GL account, just now we have covered that you can assign over here to make it limit applicable for that particular GL account. Okay. Open item management is important as per interview. Open items, if you have unpaid invoices, okay, generally you make payment and post payment entry, it will clear automatically. But if you tick on this, then it will not clear automatically and you have to manually clear them. Generally, we use this for GRIR accounts, goods receipt, invoice receipt accounts, or uh, stock or inventories account. Okay, so manually we clear this stock or GRIR accounts. If your client has asked you to keep it on, and if you forget and the balance is there in the account, if somebody has posted in that account and you later on come and try to edit it, system will not allow you. So be very careful while operating open item management. Okay. Whenever you are implementation you are doing, list of GL accounts will be provided to you with all the settings. So accordingly you have to do it. Okay? So don't worry. Line item display you will tick for all the GL accounts, because if you don't tick it, your line item, that means your entries for this particular GL account, will not get displayed, will not get viewed in your line item display reports. Okay. So in reports, if you want to view particular GL account balances, you have to tick it on. So this we use for all the accounts. Sort key. Sort key has relation with assignment number. Okay. Whenever we fill up all the data at the time of posting entries, okay, we have their field called assignment number. Generally, we don't fill up anything in that. But if you have given sort key over here, okay, so that particular value will get updated automatically in the assignment number field. Okay. So if your client wants to at the time of posting, if client wants that particular vendor number, purchase order number should get um, displayed, okay, fit that particular transaction. So you can assign sort key with this numbers and it will get appear in the assignment number field. Okay. In interviews also you will face this question, and this is important as per certification as well. Okay. So certification also, this question is important. Okay. Generally we give posting date, that is 001. Okay, so posting date will get displayed. Practically we are going to see how it will going to appear in the assignment number field. Authorization group accounting clerk. If you want to give authority for particular GL account to particular employee to handle, okay, you can assign authorization group and accounting clerk, generally created by basis consultant. Okay, and you can just assign it to the GL account. Recovery indicator, if your company code has entered into any joint venture, then you can set your recovery indicator over here. Rarely used. Then MCA key, there is multi-currency access key. Just once you have to read it. We generally don't go for this. Now go to create bank and interest tab. Field status variant yesterday we have created. If you remember, 41 groups we have copied from the standard. Okay. So that time I have said that one group we have to assign to each of the GL account. Okay. So if you open up, those groups will appear over here. Why? Because you have maintained field status variant. Okay, for this particular company code. We
So
don't
we just need to enter. We just need to enter the company code here, SH20, or we need
know,
to
you just
enter.
have to click on this icon, or if you can press F4. Okay, these values are
Okay.
there because yesterday we have created for our company code and it is assigned to our company code now. Right? At the time of starting, we have given the company code. So all the settings will get fetched in the background. Okay. So whatever groups we have copied will appear in the list. Okay. Generally, we assign G001 for all accounts. Bank account we use 5 or 9 you can use. Okay. 29 we have for revenue accounts, and reconciliation account we have 67. So these 4 we generally use. Okay. Reconciliation means if you have given here reconciliation account type, then you will use 67. Now we are creating retained earning. So general G001 you have to assign. Press enter, it will fetch the description. But this is mandatory for all the GL account. At least one you should assign. Okay. How to use for making changes into the status of the field, we are going to see later on. Okay. Post automatically only we use for cash accounts so that frauds can be avoided. Okay, so posting only automatic posting can be done. Okay, so we will cover that in cash journal topic. Supplement auto posting, partial auto posting. Generally we don't go for this, but if you want to allow for any GL account partial auto posting, automatic posting, you can tick on this. Reconciliation account ready for input. Okay, if you have selected reconciliation account type and if it is ready for input, you can tick over here. It's not mandatory. If your client asks you to tick, then only tick. Otherwise, if you tick, don't tick, it doesn't make any changes. So I'll ignore it. This is for banking. Okay, bank topic we are going to cover. Okay, planning level you can set open for currently available for posting or not, or closing available, closing of ledger, floating days, and planning level of your bank account. Any employee who is having authority to handle bank account can go for this. Relevant to cash flow, you will take for cash and bank accounts wherever there is an inflow and outflow of the cash. Okay, so this we are going to tick for cash and bank accounts. House bank and account ID. This we will cover in banking topic. Okay, so whenever we are going to cover that, we will come here and we will assign the codes over here. The
So
particular
is it mandatory to tick on relevant to cash flow, or it is not?
for bank and cash, you have to tick because
Yes.
there will be
Okay.
inflow and outflow. It will not give error, but as per accounting concepts, you
Okay.
should tick. Then only that cash flow will get hit, right?
And what is this planning level like?
This is
Yeah.
status of your bank account. Okay, so currently open or currently closed, closing is available like that. So At the time of
Okay.
closing or year-end procedure, you can just set the status. Okay. You can read it for further this. Now, how it is, what is the plan behind your cash and bank managements? Okay. So that plan you can set for that particular account. So with examples, you can have all these descriptions. Okay. So you have to go through this. Okay. And if you don't understand any, please let me know. Okay. So this levels can be set by your employee who is having authority to handle bank or cash. Okay.
Okay.
Interest calculation information in company code. Now, if your company is having loan account, for that particular GL account, for loan account, if you want to calculate interest, okay, there is some configuration steps for interest calculation procedure that if you have done, okay, so particular setting you have to do for the loan account. So you can set here interest indicator, how you want to calculate interest. Okay, so methods of calculating interest we have. These are standards and these are created. You can create your own procedure as well. Interest calculation frequency. So monthly if you want to calculate, or once in 2 months, then quarterly, 6 monthly, or yearly, how you want to calculate interest. That frequency you can set. If you have configured your interest calculation procedure properly without error, then dates will get updated over here. Key date for last interest calculation and date of last interest run. Okay. If there are some errors, you have to enter dates manually. Okay. So this is for loan account. All other tabs you can ignore. Only these 3 tabs are important. Now for retained earning,
Okay.
we have, yes. So for retained earning, we have created setting that is liability balance sheet. We have given the name, Indian rupees, only balance, line item display, sort key, and field status group. And if you save, it will create retained earning account. Now we have to change it. Okay, change the code. Now it will appear liability because you have created one GL account. Okay, it has picked 3 zeros against it because you have given 6-digit number in chart of account. Okay, so 6-digit they have made. So within 6-digit it is allowed. And this is your retained earning account. Okay, fine. So I'm stopping here today, and tomorrow we
Mm-hmm.
will create few more list of accounts, and we will see
Okay.
the, yes, then we will see our, okay, now fine, I will explain that in tomorrow's session. That is okay. So
Okay.
okay, fine. So
Yeah.
I'm stopping over
Thanks.
here now. Okay. Yeah. So tomorrow same time, 1:30.
Tomorrow 1:30. Okay. And then tomorrow is the last class for this week, and then we will continue from Monday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, Diti.
Bye.
Thanks.
You have understood.
Bye bye.
Okay. Welcome. Bye.
Welcome.